With the opening of the Project Pride, we invite you to travel together with us through cities and countries of the world to meet Kazakhstan people there, learn more about their life. We will go on a visit, we will plunge into their work, we will walk to their favorite corners of the cities they live in. But the main thing is that we set out on a journey to be inspired by their success. After all, the heroes of our program are bright and interesting people, and every story, every acquaintance is a swirl of impressions. In today's program, Vasiliy Zhirov, Balkhash Tiger in Texas. Recap of the Pride program. The list of merits, regalia, and awards of today's hero is endless. The life of a heavyweight boxer, Vasiliy Zhirov, is full of medals, records, fights, victories, and knockouts. What is he like in everyday life? Many people from Kazakhstan became popular all over the world. The United States of America is not an exception. The Pride program continues its journey through the United States, following the Kazakhs who live and work in this country. We are traveling to Houston from New York. To see the champion himself, we traveled to the heart of Texas, to the shores of the Mexican Gulf, where one could hear the Spanish language more often than the English. We had a warm meeting at the boxing school, Tiger Academy, founded by Almaty coach Ayat Ilyukhanov. Champion in heavyweight boxing, Vasiliy Zhirov trains young people at Tiger Academy. When I step on the ring, I connect to the person I fight with. Two become one. It's easier for me to move and box in the ring because I can feel his every movement, every step, every thought. And it turns not into a fight, but into a game. A game of thoughts, a game of feelings. This way, a fight turns into something beautiful. Every boxer has its own history, his own style, and his own role in the ring. The history of our hero is the hardest path of 12 rounds to fame. Rapid knockouts often reduce it. However, this is life, with its tragedies, joys, accomplishments, and with its truth. In ordinary life, we're just like everyone else. On the ring, you demonstrate a good fight. There, on the ring, you can develop your own story of how it's all going to be. You want to be evil, you want to be nasty. For example, I want to be calm. For example, each boxer has his own script. Real battles take place before the ring. It's when boxers' eyes meet. The final fight takes place on the ring, where people have a physical contact. Vasiliy grew up in a big family of 6 children. His mother had to raise her children alone. Vasiliy was into the sports from an early age. His mother was a professional athletic trainer. She tried to engage her children in sports from a young age. She believed that sport was one of the paths to success. After all, Vasiliy as a child had an outstanding physical abilities. The young man made a bet on a career in sports, and he did not lose. However, the path to victory and recognition was difficult and long. But his time has come. Vasiliy Zhirov became the first titled boxer in the history of Kazakhstan boxing, and after winning the Olympics in 1996, the whole world learned about him. This was the birth of Balkhash Tiger. Vasiliy Zhirov was born on April 4, 1974 in the city of Balkhash, Kazakh SSR. He is the Kazakhstan professional boxer who performed in the first heavyweight category. In amateur competitions, he is European champion among juniors of 1992, 4-time champion of Kazakhstan 1992 to 1995. The champion of the CIS in 1993, the bronze medalist of the Asian Games of 1994 and the 1994 Asian Championships, the 1995 Asian champion, the bronze medalist of the 1993 and 1995 World Boxing Champion, the 1996 Olympic champion, the owner of the 1996 Olympic Games Val Barker Cup. In professional boxing, the world champion in the version of IBF 1999 to 2003, the international competition in the WBS 1998, the Continental Champion of America, according to the WBC. 1999, the Champion of the North American Boxing Organization in the WBO version. 2003, Honored Master of Sports of the Republic of Kazakhstan, holder of the Parasat Award. 1996. Vasily's height is 188 centimeters. His weight is 85-90 kilograms. He chose boxing later. In childhood and adolescence, the future champion tried himself in many sports: swimming, kayaking, wrestling, and even dance. Zhirov was a member of the children's choreographic ensemble Veterok, which was very popular in Balkhash. Every morning we woke up and my mother took us out. We went to the lake. We ran along the shores of the lake every morning, all the time. Life cannot do without incidents, of course. After all, only after a while we understand that a simple phrase and a spontaneously taken decision can be fateful. An accident brought Zhirov to boxing. I had a friend and he offered me to come and train with him. I agreed. After I saw the movie Rocky, my desire and interest grew even stronger, and I started to train professionally. Having started boxing at the age of 12, 4 years later, Zhirov passed the standard of the USSR boxing champion, and in 1991 he got into the youth national team of the country. The following year, in 1992, Vasiliy Zhirov won the European Junior Championship in Scotland as part of the USSR national team in middleweight, becoming the first Kazakhstan champion. Right after that, he was invited to the adult national team of Kazakhstan. My mother invested a lot in my training. Then I had a great coach, Apachinsky, who was a very big mentor. He showed a lot of things, he taught me and made me who I am today. The way to the top of the sports career, Vasiliy continued with a triumph. In 1992, he was recognized as the best boxer in the CIS. In 1993, he won the CIS championship and won a bronze medal at the World Boxing Championship in Finland in middleweight, and in addition to the official award, he won the Audience Award. Next, the Asian Championships of 1994 and 1995 in Japan and Uzbekistan. In his asset, bronze and gold awards in mid-heavyweight. Soon, in the same 1995, he participated at the World Cup in Germany and took the third place. Ahead of him was the Olympic year of 1996. What kept Vasiliy in a tone all these years filled with tireless trainings and victories? What was his motivation? I became the leading boxer in amateur boxing in the world. I set myself the goal that the first thing I want to do is to become the champion of the Olympic Games. After that, I turned to professional boxing right away. There is a goal, and therefore you must first prove to yourself that you can do it. Doubts in big sport are unacceptable. Sportsmen must go only forward. Vasiliy Zhirov won the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, the United States, and as a sign of recognition and respect for the Olympics, the champion was awarded the Val Barker Cup, which was handed to the boxer by then-president of AIBA, Anwar Chowdhury, and among the applauding audience was Muhammad Ali himself. What does it mean for a sportsman to win at the Olympic Games? The Olympic medal is the highest award in my life. No matter how often I was chosen as the world champion, I won this title several times. The dearest to my heart is, of course, the Olympic medal.
Undefeated IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Vasiliy the Tiger Zhirov.
In 1987, the sports career of Vasiliy Zhirov made a turn. He began to compete in the heavyweight division. The world recognized the heavyweight boxer under the name of the Balkhash Tiger. In total, the superstar of Kazakhstan boxing had 217 fights, 207 victories, and won 24 international tournaments. In professional boxing, he had 42 fights, where he won 38. There could be more victories. Big sport is associated with large stakes, and questions about the purity and honesty are not uncommon. In particular, there are often disputes about the bias of judges. Zhirov faced the same challenges. He, for example, recalls the fight with Joly when the American was awarded an undeserved victory. Zhirov led by points, but the judges decided otherwise. It should be noted that after the battle with Vasiliy, Joe was forbidden to appear in the ring. The brain trauma received during the fight put an end to his career. Every battle is a lesson and a new road, which helps you to get to know yourself and make yourself stronger, more cleverer, resistant to life challenges. And I don't think that I have only one fight that made me a great boxer. All fights, they led me to where I am today. They all gave me something, and piece by piece, I became Vasiliy Zhirov, a person people know today. Who would Vasiliy become if not for a big sport? Who knows, maybe even an astronaut. In any case, Zhirov is confident that he could succeed in any chosen field, and fate, in his opinion, offers each of us several options, and our possibilities are often much wider than we think. The main thing, in his opinion, is to set a goal and go to it. Set a goal, a lifetime goal. What do you want to receive in life? Know yourself, why you are here. When you have a goal in life, it's easier for you to go on. So I always believe that children must learn how to set a goal, and not one goal, but several at once. You achieved one goal, you are grateful for the road that led to it, and you move on to the next goal. Another experience, you move on to the next. Our communication from the meeting at the airport and before parting could probably seem like a meeting of old friends and not new acquaintances. Here they are, my medals. Olympic medal. This is IBF World Cup. This is my last WBC belt. And WBO Continental. This is my first belt. Then I became the world champion and won this belt when I was young. You are so young here. Yes, I was 22 years old. Vasiliy is simple and pleasant. There is no hint of diva-like behavior. He assures me that he has never suffered from a star fever, and you know, I believe him. For knowledge in sports and in life, he thanks his coach Alexander Pachinsky. He was the one who taught his students that once you won one battle, you must be happy, thankful to the fate and circumstances, and then just move on. Leave this part of life behind, go only forward. I never thought of myself as the star or celebrity. It's not for me. All that is given to you is originally inherent in you from God. You can call it God, call it Allah, call it any different name, but He's the one who invested it in you. You must fulfill your program on earth. We are the thought and creation of God. We are like His hands. We do His work here on earth. After the victory in 1996 in Atlanta, Vasiliy Zhirov moved to America, where he entered the professional ring. It was time when he gained the reputation of a fighter with a deadly force of blows. 90% of the fights, Zhirov ended with knockouts. In 2009, Vasiliy completed his career in professional boxing. The moment of truth came on June 5, 1999, when Vasiliy met with King Arthur Williams and took away his belt of the IBF heavyweight champion. Since then, he defended his title 6 times, and he finished all these battles as a real champion with a knockout. He is still in an excellent physical shape, he's engaged in coaching, and recently there have been changes in his personal life. The first Kazakhstani professional boxer in the heavyweight category is also a great romantic. Vasiliy Zhirov proposed to his girlfriend right in the studio of the Kazakhstani television channel during a talk show. I love meeting with my friends. I like to hang out with them. But now, I am at a new stage in my life. I am married again. And it's very nice when you find yourself a partner who is close to you spiritually. I wake up every morning with love, with understanding, with delight, with admiration of the dawn. What a great day today. Zhirov has been living in the States for the last 20 years, and he spends his current life and work between Texas and Arizona. Now the dreams and aspirations of our champion are connected with the Tiger Academy, founded by Ayat Ilyukhanov here in Houston. We now need to find people who will be interested in helping us too, the sponsors who will be interested in developing our Kazakhstan boxing. Here I can provide help to our boxers than if I was in Kazakhstan. I already have people here with whom I communicate, TV stations, trainers and promoters, with whom it's possible to sign a contract. And here it will be easier to help.
Это очень интересно получилось насчет Tiger Academy. У нас
It's interesting how we came up with a name for our academy. There are two people who involved in it. Rustem, who is in Almaty, Vasiliy Zhirov, who is here.
у Рустема в Алмате промоторская компания
Rustem owns a promotion company called Taige. Vasiliy is called Balkhash Tiger.
«Тайгерский тигр». И мы решили, короче говоря, это все совместить и сделать
So we decided to combine these two names, and that's how Tiger Academy was born.
команду Tiger Academy. И, конечно, планируем привезти из Казахстана.
We plan to bring talented boxers who can train here, whom we can teach and bring to a higher level. It's all in our hands.
Здесь и довести до уровня большого, так как все в наших руках.
At the moment, boxers from different parts of the world train here. Ayat and Vasiliy are ex-Almaty residents. Jibek, on which they are now making a big bet, is from Dagestan. He's trained by a Cuban coach, Salvador. By the way, he's close to us because he knows Russian. He learned it when he studied in one of the universities of the Soviet Union. This is the boxing international community.
Пам-пам. Хорошо, бегай. Пам, степ, пам.
Василий – это классный боксер. А я смотрю на его тренировки, я просто как...
Vasiliy is a great boxer. I look at his training. I just admire him. He's a coach from God.
Я думаю, бойцов можно таких подготовить. Есть очень...
This kind of a great coach can bring up brilliant boxers. There are a lot of good boxers, but not enough of good trainers. He's a talent, to be honest. Of course, he should have good support from Kazakhstan. He can bring up very good athletes and make a great contribution to Kazakhstani boxing.
Несет Казахстану очень большую пользу.
This is the American life of a guy from a small town in Balkhash. When he recalls Kazakhstan and images of his native town, a beautiful lake comes up in front of his eyes.
Есть места,
There are places here that are similar, like you driving around Kazakhstan. Are the houses similar too? There are similar houses and roads. Human values, wherever you live, in whatever language you speak, most often are very similar too.
у нас цели хорошие, желания.
We have good goals, good wishes. We do it for the common cause.
Мы делаем это для общего дела. Вот по одному мы живем.
We live on our own like this. When we're a fist, together, we are the power. It's much better. With a fist, you can go anywhere. In a good sense of the word. Yes, of course.
Хорошее место, да.
A person always wishes for more and satisfaction and harmony with oneself. This is not a given, not to everyone, and not immediately. Would Vasiliy want his life to go the other way?
Ничего не менял бы. Я рад каждому дню, мгновению моей жизни, которое я имел.
I would not change anything. I'm happy for every day, for every moment of my life, because everything that happens to you makes you who you are right now.
И, по крайней мере, то, что я сейчас
And what I see in myself now, the person I see in the mirror, I'm happy with him,
меня устраивает это, и
and I'm quite pleased with myself. I'm content with the path that I chose, and I really like it.
этот путь, и мне очень нравится он.
This is it. This is the end of our Pride series. We're ending it with a Texan bright note. And although the weather in Houston does not set a New Year's mood, the general mood, the spirit of the community, and the pastoral seascapes have done their job. The spirit of the holiday has not passed us.
В лесу родилась
ёлочка, в лесу она росла. Зимой и летом стройная, зеленая.
They sing in the forest a fir tree was born, in the forest it grew, in the winter and in summer it was evergreen, so that everyone in Houston knew that our people were here.
Классно.
Чтобы все в Хьюстоне знали, что здесь наши собрались.
This year we had a palette of interesting acquaintances, stunning discoveries, and unforgettable trips. And each hero managed to become a good friend and gave us a lot of warm memories. We started our journey in Paris, where we met with the amazing Gauhar Asyon. Her restaurant of Central Asian cuisine is included in the most prestigious restaurant guide Michelin, 3rd year in a row.
Eh bien, il y a quelqu'un?
Ouais.
Ça doit être Aleftina.
Bonjour, madame.
Hello, Aleftina.
Здравствуйте, Алевтина.
By the way, since our acquaintance, the family of Gauhar and Laurent experienced pleasant changes. Their family welcomed to the world another baby. Congratulations. In the same place in Paris, we went to an incredible concert, which was organized by Kazakhstanis. At the invitation of the Association of Kazakhstanis of France and its founder, Berlin Arishev, in the center of Paris, the best Kazakhstani musicians from Europe pleased the audience with their art, soulfulness, and patriotism. After all, the concert that we visited was dedicated to the Independence Day of the Republic of Kazakhstan and was a kind of a gift to the homeland. We are fortunate that our association has Aygiri Matayeva. I think the association has a great future because we are expanding. I don't know how to assess this from the point of view of Kazakhstan, but I personally assess it very positively. Now our members of the association represent such a value of Kazakhstan because they work in large companies. They're great professionals. Then a year ago, the Pride program met with Jamila Steklikova in Prague. This unique woman became the first Kazakh woman who decided to run for the seat of minister in Europe, and she succeeded in this. I had a very warm memories of working in the government because I managed to pass the law against discrimination. Jamila often compares Prague to her native Almaty, which she tries to visit as often as she can. Of course, the city is very beautiful. It's impossible to get used to it. But my native city is Almaty, and I don't know why, but I feel myself here as a guest. I feel at home only in Almaty. There, I don't feel like a guest. And although Almaty changed a lot, there is a new construction going on, new street names, it's hard for me to remember them all. Together with the heroes of the Pride program, we saw the sunny, hospitable Georgia. With the heads of the Kazakhstani community, Kairat, Sergey, and Vitaly, created the island of Kazakhstan in Tbilisi. Sergey, how long have you been living here? 13 years. You still kind of separate yourself from them. You don't feel like a part of the community? Kazakhstan is an international country. We celebrate Christian holidays at my home, the Muslim holidays at Kairat's place. We have twice as many holidays here. When you live away from home, there is one big problem that many do not understand until they leave. All Kazakhs should be taken somewhere to live in another environment, without moms and dads, so that they feel what it means to live in another country. The feeling of patriotism will grow immensely. They will start to appreciate things they took for granted at home. Our fellow countrywoman, artist Gulnara Utseva-Naitradze, does not leave any attempt to find the remains of Kipchak culture on the territory of Georgia. I don't know why, but I want to put a piece of cloth and tie it up here just to remember this place. Our trip to the ruins of the ancient site of Samshvilde was incredible. We connected with the roots. In Moscow, we were together to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the legendary band A-Studio. Thank you, Baigali, for the invitation. If you have been performing for 30 years, I have been doing it for 40 years now. I remember how we all started when we made our first steps. We were led by Taskin Akapov. Talgat Sarabayev wrote music for us. We loved him so much. I remember our beloved Batarkhan and Bulat Sizdikov, who are no longer with us. We lost great people. We all remember Baglan, who used to be part of A-Studio. I'm very sorry that they're not with us anymore. But we continue to create, to live with music and sing. Baigali Serkebayev shared his stories and memories and took us to his favorite places in Moscow. I really love this neighborhood. Here we began our Moscow history. Now, if there are no big traffic jams, we'll drive to the park where we once walked with Alla Pugacheva, with our band. And in general, for us, it's a landmark place. The acquaintance with the producer-director of music videos of the first magnitude, Alexei Golubev, was also very interesting. We have winter again for another 3 months, so come to Almaty more often. To snatch the whole day from the schedule of the master was very difficult, but the attempt was worth it. I cannot say that I have a super tight schedule, but I have to carefully manage my time. Although in 2009 it was a lot different. The country was going through a very difficult crisis, and I had only 2 jobs, and these 2 jobs were my favorite. In Moscow, we also met Gulnaz Balpiisova, the director of the Vakhtangov Theater. My acting debut was in the 7th grade. I played the role of Baba Yaga. I always played negative characters. Was it on purpose? No, it just happened that way. I never played, for example, the Snow Maiden. I have a dark complexion, and characters like Baba Yaga, they drive the action. They create and resolve the conflict. Because of them, everything is always more interesting. Sincere, temperamental, impetuous Gulnaz managed to stage the performance in Almaty. Her production of Boo from Wit by Griboyedov was a success not only in the Lermontov Theater, but also in the framework of the World Exhibition Expo 2017, where it was also shown. What happened next? An unforgettable trip to St. Petersburg, Ekibastus, together with a native of Ekibastus, Alexander Ustugov and his band. To Ustugov Alexander, the actor and the director. Through his eyes, we had a chance to admire Smolny Institute and the Stadium of the Miner. It was truly unforgettable. In Amsterdam, our minds were blown away by our fellow countrymen, digital nomads, young and intelligent IT specialists, Jibek and Aman. Many people have a big stereotype about IT people. Many people see them with greasy hair sitting in front of computers all night long. In general, these are ordinary people who have a talent for programming. Here they are, people of the 21st century. One of the most amazing meetings was acquaintance with the granddaughter of Mukhtar Awezov, Zifa Awezova, who lives near Amsterdam. Here, people are very proud of the Asian history of their city, their various musical, cultural events, festivals, and literary readings. And what about an interview with her husband, Robert, who agreed to speak with us only in Kazakh?
So this Badstad, Turkse men бастаймыз. Waqtimiz ko'p emas, o'qiymiz.
It's amazing to sit in the Dutch province and listen to how a Dutch scientist speaks Kazakh. That's amazing. Eldar Saparayev, the pride of Almaty Conservatory and resident of many European conservatories, a cellist of the first magnitude, he introduced us not only with Zurich, where he now lives, but he also revealed some secrets. The acoustics here is incredible. For example, he rehearses not in the classroom, but in the church. After all, the Bach's music should be performed only here. What a wonderful view. It's Mahler's 8th Symphony. American trip took us to see our people in the States, and it was a terrific adventure. Photographer Pavel Antonov, who is trusted to take photos of the royalty, politicians, movie stars, talked about his life in New York and Karganda. Here I'm Kazakh, an American Kazakh. I believe that Karganda made me who I am today. Without Karganda, there wouldn't be Moscow, New York, especially New York. Because when I arrived in Karganda, I studied together with people of different nationalities, Greeks, Chinese, Koreans, Kazakhs, Russians, Ukrainians, Lithuanians. I love multiculturalism. I breathe easy in an international environment. Karganda is Kazakhstan's New York. Model Alyona Subotina conquered the world runways and fashion magazines. She shared a lot of stories. For example, about her hobby of skydiving or meeting with an astronaut who landed on the moon. Her colleague Asilina Puchukova told us the story of the conquest of the crown Miss Multiverse. The director Gauhar Nurtas invited us to her training session. We met with artist Perikol Mamirov in New York, who is rightfully called an average American but from Kazakhstan. We filmed passers-by in the Times Square with Arken Avan, We trained together with the star of the Cirque du Soleil, Vasiliy Zhirov. All these stunning people are able to inspire and set an example. They all miss their homeland and always welcome guests from Kazakhstan. They are our pride. We are forever grateful to them for their openness, for the cities that we saw through their eyes. It was interesting. We're thankful for the opportunity to be proud of Kazakhstan and Kazakhstani people, and for the fact that our people know how to build their lives and homes in any part of the world, but still remain true to their roots.